Hey everyone, Brenda Flanders with the Utah Sport Karate League here with another competitor highlight interview. Today will be featuring Miss Nellie Mcleish. She is currently training with Lawrence Championship Martial Arts under the instruction of Jeff Vincent. She has been training for 9.5 years and holds the rank of third degree black belt. She currently competes as a 16 to 17-year-old female and most recently competed at the Rocky Mountain Open and jumped up a division to the 18 plus black belt females, where she took grand champion female black belt point sparring. Thank you for joining us today, Nellie. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Excited.
Awesome. Thanks for taking some time out of your day and joining me for this competitor highlight video. You came onto the scene at Rocky Mountain and you just did an awesome job. Not only are you an awesome competitor, but I had a chance to talk with you a little bit at the tournament. And I just think you're an outstanding person, and to me that
Thank
makes
you.
you an overall outstanding person and competitor. So thank you again for
Thank you.
coming on, and let's get a little bit of insight on you. So how long have you been competing?
I've been competing and we have like inter school tournaments for art studios, and I've been competing in those for since probably 2016 or 2017. And then I just recently started competing in open tournaments last year, so beginning of 2023. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So have you been doing any other competition outside of the Utah Sport Karate League?
I've actually this was only my third open tournament. I did last year I did the Rocky Mountain Open, and then I did the is it the Congo karate? I don't remember what it's
Yes.
called. I think that one, and then Rocky Mountain again. So
Super cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you are venturing out and doing some open tournaments. I know you guys have a lot of competition when it comes to the inter school tournaments with all your
Yeah.
guys' different Bobby Lawrence schools. And man, you guys have been just pumping out great competitors. You guys just have
Yeah.
been hitting the scene, and I've really appreciated that because it gives personally my students something more to work towards because they see that, hey, there's that competitor out there. They got to put a fire
Mhm.
under me so I can keep up with my game. So I appreciate you guys coming out and competing and supporting the Utah Sport Karate League. It's certainly been awesome. So okay, so we've asked a few of our viewers some things that they would like to know about competitors such as yourself. And one that came up a lot was, what does your training look like for your martial arts, and then also for competition? Do you get yourself prepared differently for, say a rank or a competition? What does that look like for you?
Um, Typically, like my regular training schedule, I train Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and sometimes like Fridays and Saturdays. Kind of just depends. And then, like before tournaments, I always ask Jeff Vincent if we can do like a lot of sparring. Like if I'm going to spar soon, like, can we spar in class tonight? Kind of just something like that. I just like getting a lot of the experience right before I compete with it. So I don't know. Yeah, just I train Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays super consistently, and then like sometimes Fridays and Saturdays.
That's
So.
awesome. That's a great training schedule, and I'm glad you
Mhm.
mentioned consistency. We talk a lot about that on these highlight videos. That's the one thing that I think all of our outstanding competitors have in common, among many other things,
Yeah.
is the consistency with your guys' training and how you guys prepare. And it's mindset and just putting yourself in those uncomfortable training situations and going no matter what. Right? Is that
Yeah. Hmm.
awesome? That's so
Like even
cool.
a lot of time, like I teach some of the classes beforehand. It's like, oh, I'm really tired today. Should I do it? And then I just, I have to. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great quality. Definitely a quality of a champion. So what keeps you motivated to continue competing and going to these open tournaments and, just excelling?
I think definitely my parents have a big part in that. They always are like kind of pushing me to get better. And another thing would be like my coaches, my head instructor, and also my students. I think I want to keep competing so I can get my students to compete eventually. I've gotten a couple of them to compete over the past little while, but I really want to start leveling them up and getting like our demo team to compete more individually. I think that's one of the big things. Like if I compete and they see me doing it, it's going to kind of inspire them to do it as well.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's great to lead by example, right? It kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
gets that message across a lot more, with some strength and
For
some
sure.
some accountability. You're
Hmm.
out there, you're doing it. You're not just saying, "Hey, do this."
Yeah,
You're out
exactly.
there experiencing it and crushing it, doing a great
Yeah.
job. And you'd mentioned that your parents and all those people around you, it's so important to have that empowerment team, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It
Support
really
team kind
helps.
of behind me.
Yeah, it definitely helps us stay on track and reach our goals. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Sounds like you got a phenomenal team behind you. So, um, we talked about how you prepped for competing, and what you what prep looks like for just your at your dojo. So, can you tell me how martial arts and competing, you'd mentioned about your students, how has it affected your life personally? Like how have you grown? How have you, how do you relate that to everyday life?
I think it's definitely like helped me to stay like disciplined just with like daily things like going to school, waking up on time, stuff like that, keeping my grades up. Um, just a lot of things like that, just keeping a consistent schedule as well. And then it's also just kind of helped me stay healthy, being able to get like a good workout in pretty much every day is really good. And it just helps me constantly be a better version of myself, I would say. So
Man, you're an outstanding role model. I'm really glad you
thank
made it
you.
on our reel to talk to us today, because you're just an outstanding role model. I'm really enjoying this time with you. So can you tell us some of your notable wins or some of your accomplishments with those tournaments like we had mentioned before? I mean, those are huge inter-school tournaments with
Mhm.
stacked divisions, and so I'm sure getting a win there is just incredibly hard with all the outstanding competitors you have against you. So could you share some of your notable wins and some of your accomplishments that you've had throughout these 9.5 years of training and competing? And
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember a ton before quarantine, if I'm being honest. It's kind of just young and kind of quarantine messes with your brain a little bit. But one of the biggest ones was last May. We had one of our inter-school tournaments, and that was like when I really started. Oh, probably in like 2022 is when I started taking karate really seriously. And so when I competed in the May tournament, I got grand champion. I won all three of my divisions and got like the overall women's grand champion black belts. And that was just like really exciting. It really pumped me up. So that was a really fun one. And then obviously this recent one, I got grand champion in the 18 and up, not even being 18 and up. And then just recently, yesterday, I competed in like a regional tournament with some of the other Lawrence Championship schools, and I got grand champion in that sparring. So those are probably some of the biggest ones I've had. So those are
that's
fun.
phenomenal. That's
Yeah,
phenomenal. You're well on your way. Those are some great accomplishments. That's
thank you.
awesome. So what are some of your goals for 2024?
I would say I'm not sure. Probably towards the end of 2024, I would love to like travel and go out of the state for tournaments. I've kind of just stuck inside Utah, which is great too. But I would love to go to like compete nationals or something like that, or the league finals. So I think that would be really fun to just be able to kind of travel, even if it's just like a state away. I think it'd be fun to travel for a
Right.
tournament.
Yeah.
So that's probably one
Yeah.
of my biggest goals. And then another one would be to compete in like a bow staff creative form and get a first place with that. So
Very
yep.
nice. Very nice. Great goals. So, as you probably already know, all your points do lead toward the league finals in
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas. So that'll be awesome to see you out there and compete. I'm sure you're going to do well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That sounds like you got some great goals and some big things ahead of you. So, what would
Mm-hmm.
you say is your favorite division to compete in?
Definitely sparring. Definitely
Yeah,
sparring. I
fighter.
love forms and I love doing like the creative forms and stuff, but I don't know, something about fighting, the adrenaline with it is just my favorite. And I've gotten really
Right.
good at, I'm not trying to boast myself up, but I've just put in a lot of work towards it. So definitely my favorite one.
Humble too. I like that. Yeah, no, there's nothing like a sparring match. Things are unpredictable, and
Yeah.
you're in that ring with them and you and your knowledge and your skills. And so it's I can see that. That's an exciting
Yeah.
division. I'm glad
And
to see more female fighters. That's
yeah.
we'd love to see more female fighters.
And what I love about like competing in the open tournaments too, because when I compete in my inter-school tournaments, I tend to spar kind of the same people. It's just same division, same weight, same age. So being able to compete in the open tournaments gives me some newer competition, so I don't really know what to expect from them, which is
Right.
really fun. It helps me just like level up my training. So yeah,
Right. That's awesome. So, who would you say has been a strong opponent? Somebody who's kind of worked you or pushed you to maybe somebody that made you nervous, and they're just a tough competitor.
there's a couple girls that are my age. One of them being probably Julia Tipton. She's from my studio. She's really good. She's really scared to spar. And then some other ones would be Anai Oliveira. She's from West Valley. I used to spar her a lot when I was younger, and she like kicked my butt every time. And so she's kind of helped me motivate that. And then another one would have to be Severa Stevens. She's a great sparrer. She's from the Draper Studio. She's awesome, and she's definitely helped me want to get better and want to kind of beat her almost, and kind of have this like little rivalry going on. So it's fun.
Nice, nice. If I'm not mistaken, we see Miss Stevens at a couple of our tournaments as well. And
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, she was a phenomenal fighter. That's
Yeah. She's good.
that's awesome. It's good to have those competitors out there to keep that fire under us and give us some more goals so that we don't get slow.
Yeah, and I think it's great because we can compete, but we can also still be friends at the same time. Like it's kind of that friendly competition, you know. It's
Yeah,
good.
that is probably one of the most important parts of competition, I think.
Hmm.
It is nice to be able to go out there and build some new friendships and have some lifelong friendships.
Yeah.
Many of my friends that I have now are people that I grew up in the martial arts circuit with. So
Yeah.
I think that that's just such an added bonus to competition and leveling up our skills. So
Yeah, for sure.
so who would you say is your favorite competitor that you like to watch? And that doesn't mean necessarily just the Utah Sport Karate League. It can be any circuit. There's so many phenomenal athletes out there and so many people out there to inspire us. Who's your favorite competitor?
I would say probably Bailey Murphy. I would really like watching his videos. Like I show them to like I teach like a sparring class on Tuesdays. I try and show them like videos of him. He's just really good, super motivational. So he was probably one of my favorite competitors to watch.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get into a few more of your favorites. So what would you say is your favorite kick or your favorite technique?
I I may be a little biased towards like an aerial. I love doing an aerial. I think it's so fun. Um, I don't know. I didn't think about that one a whole ton. Probably like the aerial or even just like a simple tornado kick. I just think they're just fun. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Those are fun. I agree with you. What is your favorite weapon that you like to use?
You know, over the years, I've really liked nunchucks, but recently I've kind of been branching out and I've been working more with the bow staff. So I think the bow staff's a lot of fun. But I definitely am a little biased towards chucks too. So
Nice. Well, you did mention earlier that you're going to make it a goal to compete with bow staff. So looking
yeah,
forward to seeing that. That's awesome. So who would you say is somebody that has inspired you, just whether it be martial arts in general or for competition?
oh my goodness, there's so many people I had in mind. There's like one of them would definitely be Jeff Vincent. He's definitely helped me a lot with just like my physical training, just helped me out like mentally as well. Another one would be Colby Peterson. He trained at our studio for a little while. He kind of came in with a lot of good like sparring insight and stuff, and he definitely helped me get a lot better at sparring. Taryn Sigwa, another big one was sparring for
Yeah.
sure. And then there's so many I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
that's awesome. You're surrounding yourself with awesome, amazing martial artists all over the place. That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
and
Oh,
I love the community. Like, there's so many people. Like, I can't even pick one. There's just so many that have helped me out and helped me want to get better. So I think it's great.
that's incredible. That's really
Hmm.
cool. That's really cool. So, what would you say so far has been your favorite tournament? Inter-school tournament, one of these open tournaments, or
I would. I
do you have
do.
a
I
goal
love.
for a tournament that you would like to compete at? I know you had mentioned earlier about going out of state. Is there a particular one? I know a lot of people have the goal to go to like diamonds or go to compete nationals or
I would love to go to compete nationals. I know that's kind of coming up around the corner, so I might have to hold off until next year on that one. But I would love to go to the league finals. That would be a lot of fun. I think.
nice,
I just
nice.
need to rack up my Utah tournaments in order to do that. So,
Yes, yes,
um,
yes. Get yourself a good seating.
but I do.
Nice,
I like the Rocky Mountain Open tournaments. I think they're a lot of fun.
very cool.
I like all tournaments. I can't even lie. They're all so fun.
Too many to pick from, huh? That's awesome. It's a
Exactly.
great attitude. So, do you have any hobbies outside of martial arts or a fun fact that you wouldn't mind sharing with us all?
I love being outside, and I'd love just traveling. Like we're obviously surrounded by like a lot of beautiful mountains. I love driving up the mountains, going on hikes and stuff like that. And then my family, we're big travelers, so just kind of getting out of the state, visiting family, stuff like that. I think it's a lot of fun.
That is fun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, just getting winding down to the end of our interview, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Um, if you had some advice for the other competitors out there, other young martial artists, what would that be?
I've had kind of two on this one. I would say be willing to take advice for one of them, being able to like learn how to get better and take criticism without it being harsh or anything like that. And then another one would be to watch other competitors when you're out at a tournament. Because I think just watching people, it kind of gives you some more insight on like how you want to compete and like, oh, that's a really cool trick. I want to be able to do that, stuff like that. So just being able to take advice and watching other competitors would probably be the big two.
Nice. That's phenomenal advice. That's great. Those of you out there watching, make sure that you are taking that advice to heart. That's some great words of wisdom from Miss Nellie. Is there a special thanks you'd like to give to anybody out there that you've got such a strong empowerment team and support team around you? Is there anybody that you'd like to mention now? Just give a special thanks to for all the help that they've lend to get you this far into it.
Oh man, again, there's just so many people. Probably my head instructor, Jeff, Vincent, and then just my parents too, and everyone who's helped me get to where I am, honestly. So I can't put like a solid one name on there because there's just so many people who help me. And it's like a team effort, not one person can do all this and not just one person can help me. I think it comes from a lot of different places. So
I love that answer. That's awesome. Love that. Well,
yeah,
thank you, Nellie, so much for taking some time with us today and giving us just a little bit of insight. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I've had a
me
lot of
too.
fun getting to know you just a little bit more and look forward to seeing you at future tournaments. And it looks like at the league finals. And hopefully we'll see you this next March. Do you have plans to come to March?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that will be the second tournament of the year that has it's part of our medal series. I don't know if you've heard a little bit about that, but
yeah,
we've got a special medal series going on, and the Battle of Champions will be the second one in that series. So those of you out there watching, make sure that you guys stop by the Battle of Champions so you can see awesome competitors like Miss Nellie out there kicking butt in that sparring ring and hopefully in that creative bow staff kata division. That'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely will not be disappointed. Those of you who are watching, if you would like more information on some upcoming events and the latest news, go ahead and jump on over to the UtahSportKarateLeague.com. You can check out all of the rules, all of the divisions, any upcoming events, as well as subscribe to our emails so that you don't miss out on any of those opportunities and any of the latest news. Thanks again, Nellie, and thank you everybody out there for watching. Have a great day.